able to hear me again? Everything's okay? Yeah, please confirm somebody.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Fine, great. Okay, so I was talking about conventional subject. Okay, conventional subject are those subjects which are same forever. This doesn't change frequently. So these are something very basic for clearing any exam. Okay, conventional subject. Okay, under that you have got history. Note down this. You should have a notebook with you. History. Then you have got geography. Then you got polity. Polity means Indian Constitution. Okay, polity means Indian Constitution. So history, geography, polity is known as conventional subject. Okay, they are must for completing any exam. Okay, because almost 40 to 60% of the question will come from this. Okay, so how strong in this history, how strong you are in the geography, how strong you are in the polity. Okay, that helps you to clear any exam. Okay, guys. Okay. So let us first start with history. Okay. So basically an orientation program, and I'll give you as much as information required also. Okay. And I'll tell you next class, I'll teach you all the other things. Okay. So when you talk about history, okay, we can divide the history into mainly three kind of things. One is known as ancient India. One is known by the name ancient India. Okay, the second one is known by the name medieval India. Okay. Medieval India. And third is known as modern India. Okay. So history is basically divided into ancient India, medieval India, and modern India. Okay. Ancient India means it starts from Harappan. Okay. Harappan goes up to Harsha. Okay. But what is required for exam? Okay, is only 3 or 4 chapters. Write down that chapter also. Okay, here I'm going to give you tricks on efficient use of our time. Okay, we should do some smart work. We should not know hard work means always reading almost everything we are studying not required. Passing the exam will give you the trick. Okay, so as far the ancient India is concerned, read only these chapters. Okay, this one is Harappan, which is also known by the name Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, that is a must study. Okay. That is a must study. Then you got Vedic civilization. Okay, that is a must study. Then Buddhism. Okay. Then Jainism. These are the 4 topics you have to must study in the ancient India. Okay, where you will study this, I'll tell you. There's a NCERT books. Okay, particularly. Okay, this one old NCERT. Okay, there's a old NCERT for ancient India. That is very, very important. Okay, read that completely. Only this 4 chapters. What are the chapters? Harappan civilization, Vedic civilization, Buddhism, and Jainism. Okay, just I'm giving glimpses. Then I'll go into detail about every topics also. 1 minute, I'm getting a call from one student. Hello. Hello. Why? What is the message is coming? Everybody is joining. A lot of students have joined now. Password. Create username, password, and join. So, was it anybody getting error message like invalid username, password? See, you have to create your own username, password. You cannot use this one, Google or Facebook. Okay, that is why it is secure. Fine. One second. Yeah, so old NCERT, you read this book name I'll give you later. So Harappan, Vedic, Buddhism, Jainism must read. Okay. Medieval India, okay, as far the exam is concerned, is of least importance. Okay, very minimum importance required. So you can keep this in the 3rd category. So first you will read ancient India. Okay, again you go to modern India. Modern India is classified into 2 categories. Okay, modern India is classified into 2 categories. One is known as pure modern India. Okay, I'm expecting that all of you have got notebook and noting down all this. Okay, 1707 to 1947. Okay, 1707 to 1947 is a pure modern India. Okay, and from, sorry, not 1857. Okay, from 1857, okay, to 1947 is known as India's struggle for independence. Write down this: India's struggle for independence. India's struggle for independence. Okay. So in this, what is the beginning of 1707? Anybody tell me? Anybody send me a message? What is the importance of 1707? Importance of 1707. Why we are starting medieval in modern India from 1707? Because that is the death of Aurangzeb. Death of Aurangzeb. Okay. So Aurangzeb death, from there modern India starts. Okay. From there modern India starts. Understood? And what is this 1857? Can anybody tell me what is significance of 1857? What is significance of 1857? It is the first war of independence. You can say 1857 revolt happened. Okay, Sipai mutiny. Hello? Yeah, Sipai mutiny, very good. Sipai mutiny, and from there, okay, India's struggle for independence starts again here. Okay, here further you can classify from 1915 onwards, Gandhian era starts. Okay, Gandhian era starts. Understood? So we will read the ancient India first, then we'll go to modern India. Modern India classified here. In the modern India also, 1857 to 1947 is more important. 1857 to 1947 is more important. Understood? So these are the things coming in the history. Okay. So NCERT books, apart from NCERT books, write down this book. Okay, there's a book called Spectrum. Okay, Spectrum. A brief history of modern India. Please note down all this. Okay. I have a doubt. I'll give you time. Brief history of modern India. That book you can read. Okay. For ancient India, only NCERT is enough. Okay. More modern India, I'm giving two books. One is a brief history of modern India. The second book is Bipin Chandra. Okay. India's struggle for independence. India's struggle for independence. Bipin Chandra. India's struggle for independence. India's struggle for independence. Okay. Independence. India's struggle for, this is by Bipin Chandra. Okay. If you're strong in history, okay, not only for the exam, but it will help you in a normal understanding of the life, because you will not repeat the mistakes committed by these people in the past. Okay. So reading history, okay, don't say that it's boring. Okay. It is like a story. You love to hear story. Right? We see a lot of movies. We might have heard about a lot of stories from our fathers, grandfathers and all. So similar to that, understand this. Okay. That is how we have to learn. Okay. Harappan civilization, all these are stories. Okay. So the trick in the history is, do not read medieval India at the beginning. Read ancient India. From there directly you come to the modern India. Okay. In modern India also start from 1857 from Sipai mutiny. So once you complete this two, then you go to the other thing, other modern India, medieval India at the last. Clear, guys? Okay. Medieval India, what we'll read in medieval India is, medieval India will talk about Delhi Sultanate. Okay. And the beginning of Mughal rule. Okay, Mughal rule. When did Mughal rule started in India? When did Mughal rule started in India? Anybody send me a message? Any idea? What is first battle of Panipat? What is first battle of Panipat? Anybody? Okay, this happened in 1526. Okay, this is the beginning of Mughal rule in India. This is the beginning of Mughal rule in India. Okay, 1526. Very good. 1526. Mughal rule started in India in 1526 when Babur, okay, defeated. Okay, those who are not aware, please note down. Okay, whenever new information is coming, you have to note down. That is the learning point. Okay, that is how you grow. Understood? That is how you grow. Okay, so Babur defeated, okay, Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi. This is the first battle of Panipat. Okay, Ibrahim Lodi was actually a part of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so in 1526, Delhi Sultanate comes to an end, and the Mughal rule starts in India. Okay, this Mughal rules comes to an end in 1857. Write down that also. As much as information, okay, I'm making sure that by attending this session, at least 10 questions you are able to answer in the exam. At least 10 questions. Okay. So 1857, what happened is 1857, okay, the Sipai mutiny happened, revolt happened, okay. The last Mughal king, write down his name, Bahadur Shah Zafar. Bahadur Shah Zafar. Bahadur Shah Zafar, okay. He was arrested and he was sent to Rangoon. And there he died. So he's the last Mughal emperor of India, okay, last Mughal king you can say. Okay, so the rule which started in 1526 comes to an end in 1857. Okay, so Mughal rule, that is the thing. Okay, so these things are coming in our history. Okay, now going further in the history itself, if you talk about Indus Valley civilization, okay, so this topic I'll deal in detail. At least one topic I'll deal in detail in each subject: history, geography, and polity. So Indus Valley civilization, write down Indus Valley civilization. Okay, Indus Valley civilization. You can also download our mobile app. Okay, it is known as Genius channel. Okay, a lot of free resources are available. Okay, okay, it's Genius channel. Genius channel. Genius channel. Okay, you can download it. A lot of free resources, including daily current or daily editorial discussion will be conducted, PDF and video. Okay, then MCQ sessions will be available. Okay, if you're not getting this, please send me a message. Okay, you know my number 99959 16183. Okay, so today we'll discuss about Indus Valley civilization. Okay, Indus Valley civilization is a Bronze Age. Okay. Bronze Age, meaning they know the use of copper and they know the use of tin. Okay, copper and tin. They don't know the use of iron. Okay, write down, they don't know the use of iron. Clear, guys? Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan Valley civilization because Harappan was the first place where this civilization was founded. Then they are expanding. Okay, part of Pakistan, parts of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, up to Jammu Kashmir also. This civilization is expanded and found. Okay, so this was known as Bronze Age because they know the use of copper, they know the use of tin, but they do not know the use of iron. Okay, this is one of the negative of the Harappan civilization, you can say. Because of them, they could have been defeated. Okay, this was an urban civilization. Write down the word. Harappan civilization was an urban civilization. Okay, we can't say it is a traditional agriculture civilization. It is an urban civilization. It is an urban civilization. Urban civilization. Urban civilization. Okay, so what they were doing, the occupation of the people. Write down occupation of the people. They were merchants. They were merchants. They were merchants. Okay. They were traders. They were selling the goods to the other parts of the country and other parts of the world. Okay. What they were selling? They were selling agricultural products. Agri products. They were selling agri products. So thereby, what are things they grew? They were cultivating the following: wheat. They were cultivating. They were cultivating barley, rye, mustard, and most importantly, cotton. Okay, one of the earliest people in the world to cultivate cotton and manufacture textiles, cotton textiles. Okay, these people are known as, okay, this cotton actually was known by the name, right in this word, Sindh. Okay, Sindh. Sindh is a Indus Valley is also known by the name Sindh River. Okay, so Sindh. Okay, the cotton was known by the name Sindh in the Indus Valley. It was known as Sindh. Okay, so wheat they cultivated, barley they cultivated, mustard. Okay, mustard they cultivated. Okay, TARD, mustard they cultivated, cotton they cultivated. So agriculture products they were selling. So write down here, during that time, during the Harappan, means I am talking about approximately 5,000 years before. 5,000 years before, agriculture products they were selling. That means they were producing surplus. Surplus means more than required. Okay, surplus means more than required. They were doing it and they were selling it to the other, this one. And they did not use any coin system. It was completely a barter system. It was completely a barter system. Coins they did not use. Coins they did not use. Okay, so we are talking about ancient India, Indus Valley civilization. It is a Bronze Age. That means they know the use of copper. Okay, they know the use of tin. Okay, but they don't know the use of iron. Okay, it is an urban civilization. Never ever say that it is a agriculture or rural civilization. The urban civilization. Okay, their occupation mainly were the merchants. They were traders. They were producing wheat, barley, rye, mustard, and cotton, and thereby they were selling all this. Yeah. Any doubts at this point? Please unmute yourself and you can talk. Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Any doubts you can ask me. No?
No doubt, sir. No.
Okay. All this you have to note down in your notebook. Okay. Okay. Now, so these are their occupation. See, the Indus Valley civilization people were mainly known for their name. They were, today we are talking about Swachh Bharat, right? Today we are not talking about Swachh Bharat. We're talking about cleanliness. Okay. But 5,000 years before, okay, these people followed, okay, a good sanitation. Okay. A good sanitation. Okay. Okay. Every house had their own toilet and separate bathroom. Okay, a good drainage system. Okay, the good drainage system. That means a home is there. From there, the spent water will be piped out. Okay, and in the road there will be a big drainage system. It will be taking all the this out. Okay, so good drainage system was there. Okay, that is the specialty of these people. Okay, good drainage system. Okay, utmost important to the hygiene. Today we are talking about coronavirus, hand washing and all. Okay. So a lot of hygienic factors they have completed at this time itself. Okay, good sanitation, toilet, bathroom. Okay, then good drainage system they had. Okay, every house was pakka house. Okay, when I say pakka use, they used write down fire burnt bricks. Okay, fire burnt bricks. Okay, fire burnt. Even today we have the same fire burnt bricks. That means that is the following bricks. You might have seen some red color like this. Okay, no, it's made up of clay. Clay is fired. Okay, this 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so this is the same thing we are using it even today also. So this is something write down. It is one of the most advantage technology. Okay, of that era. No other civilization had used this. Most of them used sun baked only. Okay, most of them used sun baked only, but these people used fire burnt. Thereby, even today we are able to find the structures, because if it is sun baked, now what will happen when the flood is coming? It will be washed away. But because it is fire burnt, okay, they are strong, okay, and available even today. After 5,000 years, also we are able to find the this one. That is why this is a pakka house. I was saying fire burnt bricks. They were using it. Okay, they were using fire burnt bricks. Okay, so this is the most advantages of this. And when we talk about the other architectures, other things and all, okay, right on this way, they were actually using something called terracottas. Terracottas, okay. They know how to have pottery, okay, pottery, okay, pottery and all they are aware. Okay, terracotta is basically like this, okay, seals, okay, like this, okay, that will be there. Okay, terracottas they had. Okay, then stone architecture they were not much. Okay, stone mainly they used stone for. In fact, I told them they don't know the use of iron. Okay, so they used to have stone sickle. Stone sickle they have to have. Okay, so that is the main purpose of stone. They didn't have. Okay. About the religion, if you talk about, yes, there was a religion was there. Okay, write down Pashupati Mahadev. Pashupati Mahadev. A kind of prototype of Shiva, you can say, that they were having a statue, a kind of statue was there. Okay, so ideal worshipping, right down, very important, because when you go to Vedic period, there was no idol, they were only worshipping the nature. Okay, but here, okay, in the Harappan civilization, there was idol was there, both male and female deity was there, female god also was there. Okay, so they were used to have terracottas, potteries. Okay, then they have a stone sickles were used for from the stone. Okay, then you write down this religion was present. Okay, religion was present. We can't say it's a kind of Hinduism, but Pashupati Mahadev definitely they had, and female god also they had. But however, if the question comes in the exam, is a Hindu kingdom or Hindu king, then you have to say no. Because it was a secular country. Write down. Okay, Harappan was a secular country. Religion did not interfere in the affairs of the country. Okay, religion was present, but there was no any interference from the religion. No temples. Temples were not found in the Harappans. You don't find any temples also in the Harappan. You don't find any temples also. Okay, and for that matter, I don't know palace also. There's no palace. There's no temple. Temple was also not there. Palace was also not there. Clear? Okay. And what the architectures they have got a very big granaries were there. Okay. They had a one big pond kind of thing, or you can say tank. Okay. You might have seen anybody gone to this Trivandrum temple. You might see one big pond is there near to the temple. Okay. That pond was present here in Mohenjo-daro. Right in this word? Mohenjo-daro. Okay. Mohenjo-daro. This is known as Great Bath. This is known as Great Bath. Okay. And is used for ritual bathing. It is used for ritual bathing. This is for ritual bathing. Okay. So this was there. Granary was present. Okay. Temples are not there. Palaces are not there. Okay. And they came to decline. Decline. Okay. How did they came to decline is not aware. Okay. People are saying flood may be the reason. People are saying it can be because of the drought. Okay. Desertification. Or any kind of disease, COVID, coronavirus, whatever it is. But when the Vedic people arrived, right on Vedic people arrived, Harappans were not there in India. Okay, that means Vedic people came to India and they settled in the same place where the Harappans were there. Okay, they were settled in the same place where the Harappans were there. But at the time, the Harappans, when the Vedic people came here, Harappans were not here. Harappans were not here. Okay, what happened to them? No idea. Okay, suddenly the kingdom comes to an end, the civilization comes to an end. Okay, yeah. Any doubts, guys, at this point? Anything I want to say? Any additional point I missed, or you have any doubt? Okay, you can ask me now. You can unmute and you can say. So we talked about sanitation of the people. Okay, then we talked about the drainage system. Then we talked about their Great Bath. Yeah, please proceed. Anybody has got a doubt, you can say. Okay. Then we talked about their agriculture products. Okay. They are merchants. Okay. They are having a barter system only. They did not have any kind of coin system. Okay. They're good in pottery. Okay. Terracottas. Okay. They're good in seal making. Okay. They used to have a lot of jewelry also. They know the use of gold, silver, jewelers and all. They were having it. Okay. They used to be very fashionable people. They used to decorate themselves with a lot of ornaments. Okay. That thing was there. Okay. So if you look at the geographical expansion of these people, this is kind of India. Okay. So the area where these people covered is this area. Okay. This area. That means Indus River. Okay. Indus River is actually flowing like this. Okay. This is the Indus River flowing like this. So it's a tributaries and all. Okay. So this is known as Indus Valley Civilization because it is part of the Indus River. Okay. In that banks of the Harappan, Mohenjo-daro both are in the Pakistan today. Okay. Sanitation system, agriculture system. They don't know the use of iron. Okay. There were no temple were not there. Okay. There was no any palaces. We can say it was a secular country. Okay. One more thing I need to tell you about the word citadel. Citadel. The concept of citadel means it's a raised platform. Okay, raised platform. So common people will be in the lower platform. Okay, the elite people, or you can say kind of rulers. Okay, they were in the citadel. The raised portion is known by the name citadel. Raised portion is known by the name citadel. Okay, so this is about Indus Valley Civilization. Okay. Okay, remaining I'll teach you in upcoming classes. Yeah, any other topic you want me to teach in history, please let me know. Then I'll go to geography. Yeah, anybody? Shamir, Adarsh, Aditya, Akash, Anjali, Arjun, Deepu, Edwin, Gopakumar, Hishman, Liz, Manu, Manas, Sahansha, Srinath, Vidya Vijayan. Yeah, anybody? Any doubt or you have got any information? No? See, the live class is where you can interact with the faculty. Okay, so that is what is required. You have to interact and you have to ask your doubts. Otherwise, there is no use. I can create always a video and I can send you, isn't it? Yes or no? So why I'm coming with this live classes to help you out. Yes, Vidya, Anjali, Sehansha, Deepu, anybody? Any doubt? Or shall I ask you?
No, sir.
Yeah, Edwin, can you tell me what is the metal they used? Edwin, can you tell me what is the metal they used? Or anybody who can tell me what is the metal they used?
Copper plus tin.
Copper tin, sir. Copper plus tin.
Gold also metal, right? Gold and silver also, they know the usage. Okay. Yeah, which metal they did not know about it?
Iron, sir.
Iron they did not know. Very good, fantastic. So people are listening. I'm happy. Yeah, somebody tell me what are the crops they were growing?
Wheat.
Wheat, barley.
Wheat, cotton, barley,
Rye, mustard.
Barley.
Very good. Yeah. Manu Madhu can tell me in Mohenjo-daro what is structure is found in Mohenjo-daro?
Baths.
Mohenjo-daro.
Ritual bathing.
Ritual bathing. Great bath is used. Great bath.
Right.
Okay, great bath. Yeah. Tell me Hisham, right? Hisham Misbah. What kind of palace were there? What kind of palace and temple were there? Hisham Mishbah? Or anybody else? What palace was there?
There is no palace and temple.
There is no palace. There is no palace. There is no temple. We can call the civilization as a secular civilization. Even though some kind of religious activity was going, okay, we can see Pashupati Mahadev is being worshipped, but still we can say this is a secular. Secular means there is no any religion associated with the state. So today India is also secular. That means the state does not have any religion. We are giving equal importance to all the religion. Okay, guys. Yeah. So very important. This Indus Valley civilization, often it is asked in the question. You have to make sure that you are reading this perfectly. Clear. Now let us go to the next topic or next subject. Okay, I'll take you something called Indian geography. Okay, write down geography. Okay. So very important. So in the conventional subject, these subjects do not change. If you read this properly now, it will be useful for any exam you're going anywhere in the world. Okay, not in the world, but in India. Okay, and particularly all these competitive exams you can clear. Okay. So geography. When you talk about geography, it has got two things. One is known as write down world geography. The other is known by the name Indian geography. Okay, one is known by the name world geography. The other is known by the name Indian geography. Okay. So world geography is further classified into geomorphology, climatology, okay, oceanography, ocean, okay, then biogeography, then human geography, then economic geography. Okay. When you talk about India got physical setting. Physical setting means you have to talk about Himalaya, northern plains, islands, Deccan Plateau, all this. Okay. Then you got climate of the India, that is monsoon. Okay. Then we have got something called you can say vegetation. Okay. Then we have got something called soil. Okay. Then we have got something called drainage system. Okay, drainage system, that is reverse. Okay, so this is what? Okay, so what are the books you have to read? This is NCERT. NCERT, all the books are not required. You can read 6th, 7th, 9th, and 11th standard NCERT. Only this book NCERT. In terms of other standard books, write down Go Cheng Liang. There's a book called Go Cheng Liang. Okay, that book also you can read. Yeah. Which topic you want me to teach in this? Among this, what do you want? Tell me quickly so that I can teach you that rather than I am choosing anything. What topic you want among this? No choice. Okay,
World.
take what is that?
World.
Geography.
In world geography, I'll take oceanography. Okay.
Okay.
Write down ocean. Okay, so if you look at if this is a world map, this is a North America, this is South America, this is Africa. Can you draw this? Okay, try to follow as much as possible. Okay, so what is naming? Naming is this is North America. This is South America, Africa, Asia, Europe. Okay, so here Ural Mountain is there. Okay, Ural Mountain. Ural Mountain separates the Europe with Asia. Ural Mountain separates Europe with Asia. Okay, so that is a thing. Okay. Okay, now look at this. So this ocean. Okay, this ocean. What is the name of this ocean? Okay, this ocean is part of here also. Okay, this is known as Pacific Ocean. Okay, this is a Pacific Ocean. This ocean is an Indian Ocean. Okay, this ocean is Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so only this is enough. No need to read beyond this. Okay, so Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, this one, Pacific Ocean again. What kind of question they're asking is in the ocean, they're asking ocean currents. Okay, they're asking tides. Okay, let me explain both of this here. Okay, first write down heading called ocean currents. Ocean currents are the movement of water, movement of ocean water, movement of ocean water from one place to another, from one region to another. From one region to another, there will be a movement of ocean water. For example, here, the ocean water will move like this. Okay, and from here, the dotted lines write down ocean currents are classified into two. The dotted lines are known as cold ocean current. The normal line is known by the name warm ocean current. Okay, so ocean current is like nothing but see you will not sense it. You are in the ocean, you are traveling ship or nearby, you cannot understand this is happening. Okay, but what happens is the water will be always in mobile. Okay, it will be moving. It is moving. Those moving currents are known as ocean currents. It can be a cold ocean current or it can be a warm ocean current. Okay, so I'm giving the numbers. Please try to draw this in your notebook. Okay, okay, these are the very, very important currents. Okay, here 3. Okay, 4, 5. Okay, see, first time you're hearing this, it may be difficult. Okay, but this from this one question definitely comes. Ocean current is definitely, they ask you which of the following is a cold ocean current, which of the following is a warm ocean current. They'll be definitely asking. Okay. All the dotted lines are cold ocean current. All the dotted lines are cold ocean currents. All the dotted lines are cold ocean currents. Okay. Now, so one, what is one? Okay. Yeah, I'm writing the name. Please write down all the names of it. Okay. Okay. Anybody wants this? Send me. I'll take a screenshot of it. I'll send you in the WhatsApp. Okay. Yeah. So one would be Labrador. Labrador. Okay. Labrador current. 2 will be North Atlantic current. Okay, definitely question comes in ocean currents and Asian India. So what a topic I'm teaching you, I'm saying that 10 question you can answer in the exam. 10 question, not 1 or 2, 10 question. Okay, Labrador, North Atlantic drift. Okay, then third one is known as Canaries. Okay, Canary current. Fourth is known by the name Brazilian current. Okay, Brazilian current. Okay, fifth one is known by the name Falkland. Falkland, there is an island. Okay, here that Falkland belongs to which country? Falkland Island belongs to which country? Does anybody tell me? Genius people, Genius channel. So Genius people, where is number 6? Number 6 is here. Okay, Benguela current. Okay, Agulhas current. Okay, 8th will be West Australian Current. 9th will be East Australian Current. Okay. 10th would be Oyashio. Okay. 11th would be Kuroshio. Okay. 12th will be California. 13 would be Alaskan. And 14th would be Peruvian Current. Peruvian Current. Falkland is in Maldives. I'll come and kill you. Who is that? Okay. Falkland is here. Look at this. I'm marking with the green color. Are you able to see this green color? This is where Falkland is there. Okay. Maldives is here. This is Maldives. But anyway, I appreciate you have tried to answer. Okay. For others who are not answering, it is better that you make wrong also. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Falkland is here. It belongs to UK. Belongs to UK. Belongs to UK. Understood? So Falkland, 5th one is the Falkland. So all of you, this you have to memorize this. Okay, I'm saving this as screen. Okay, so I can share you if you want. Let me send me a WhatsApp message. I'll reply to it. Okay. So Labrador Current is there. North Atlantic Drift is there. Canaries Current is there. So this is a Labrador Current. Number 1, Labrador Current. This is North Atlantic Drift. Number 2, North Atlantic Drift. Okay. Then number 3 is Canaries Current. This is a Canaries Current. Okay. Number 4. Number 4. Number 4. This is a Brazilian current. Number 4 is a Brazilian current. Number 5 is a Falkland. Number 5 is a Falkland current. Okay. Falkland. Number 6 is first time you're hearing, may be difficult, but definitely question comes. Okay. So you're passionate about clearing this exam, you're passionate about the service, then you have to learn this. It's not about difficulty here because other people are reading it, other people are learning it. It's a competitive exam. How you can get 1 mark better than the other? That is the deal, right? So please do it. If you want shortcuts, please let me know. I'll help you out also. Okay. So this is 6th one, Bengula. Okay. 7th one is Agulhas Current. 7th one is Agulhas Current. Okay. 8th is known as West Australian Current. West Australian Current. 9th one is known as East Australian Current. Okay. 10th one is known as Oyashio Current. Okay. 10th one is Oyashio Current. 11th one is Kuroshio Current. 11th one is a Kuroshio Current. 12th one is a California Current. 12th one is a California Current. And 13th is a Alaskan Current. And 14th is a Peruvian Current. Here guys, Peruvian Current. Okay, these are the ocean currents available. Okay. Now why this? Shall I rub the board? Are you guys still noting it down? Please let me, anybody please confirm. Or any doubt you got, please ask me now. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and you can talk. Any doubt, anything you did not understand? My handwriting is very poor.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. Great. Yeah. Now, why these ocean currents are created? Write down factors influencing the ocean current. Factors influence why these ocean currents are created. Number 1 is a rotation of the earth. Number 1 is a rotation of the earth. Number 2, density differences in the sea. Okay, how the density differences happen? Because of the temperature differences and salinity differences. Okay, so temperature differences, salinity differences. Okay, then shape of the continent. Okay, then prevailing wind. This is one question. From this, they'll ask you, instead of rotation, they'll ask you revolution. Understood? Clear the word. Okay. So RO is a O for ocean currents. Okay. RE, revolution. Okay. So rotation causes ocean currents. Okay. Prevailing wind. Okay. These are the reasons. Okay. Rotation of the earth, temperature differences, salinity difference. That means uppu. Okay. Salt. Okay. Then shape of the continent, prevailing wind. These are the factors influencing the ocean currents. Okay. What is the impact of the ocean currents? What is the climatic influence? Right on the other heading called climatic influence. Climatic influence. Climatic influence. Climatic influence. Number one, whenever the cold ocean currents mixes with the warm ocean current. Listen carefully. Whenever the cold ocean current mixes with the warm ocean current, at this junction, okay, the fishing school or school of fish, we say, no, okay, fishing schools are created. Okay, so fishing activity will be very good here. Fishing activity will be very, very good. So fishing schools are created. Understood, guys? Fishing school will be created. Okay, so we got a lot of fishing schools in the Atlantic Ocean. One of the example right on Grand Bank, Grand G-R-A-N-D, Grand Bank, Grand Bank, Grand Bank. Okay, so that is the first question. Second question is, whenever the cold ocean currents are there, the question is, what is the climatic influence of the ocean currents? Climatic influence of the ocean currents. One is, whenever the cold ocean currents is mixing with the warm ocean current, that place, then that place you got a lot of fishing activities you can bring. One example is Grand Bank in Atlantic Ocean. Whenever the cold ocean currents are there in the coast, you will have a hot desert. Okay, hot desert. Hot desert. Example, write down Atacama Desert. Atacama. Atacama Desert. It is found in the near to Peruvian current. We have seen Peruvian current. Can you locate it? Peruvian current in South America. Near that, you got a very hot desert known as Atacama Desert. Known as Atacama Desert. Understood? So whenever the cold currents are there, there will be a hot deserts will be created. Okay, so these are the climatic influence of this one. These are the factors why these ocean currents are created. Clear, guys? Okay. Definitely, a question will come from this. Okay. Now, any doubt? Please ask me now. Any doubts? Or you didn't understand anything? See, try to use this opportunity to learn. Okay, because I'm saying I'm challenging 10 questions you are going to get from this particular class, today's class. No doubts. All of you are genius. Fantastic. Next, we go to the next subject called Indian polity. Indian polity. Indian polity is the next subject. Okay. And I'll take one current affairs topic. So Indian polity, what you have to read is, you have to read this one. There's a book called Lakshmi Kant. Okay. And NCERT also you can read. Okay. What are the topics you have to read under the Indian polity? Write down preamble. Okay. Indian polity is nothing but constitution. Okay. Indian polity is nothing but constitution. So these are the subjects which are static. It does not change. Conventional subject. It remains the same. Once you read this, you can pass the exam. 50% of the question come from only these three subjects. Okay. So preamble, you have to read. Are you guys there? Everybody's there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Heavy rain is going on. So I have 2-3 connections, but all these are in trouble when you got this. Yeah, anyway, if any connection lost or you are not able to log in, please call me 999591618. Yeah. So I was talking about Indian polity. I was telling what are the topics to be covered under this. Okay. First one is preamble. Okay, preamble. Okay, these are the things which you fetch you most mark. Okay. Fundamental right, fundamental duties, directive principles of state policy, parliament, president, governor. Okay, then you got state assembly, then you got panchayat, municipality, then you got this one, we can say Supreme Court, High Court, then comes constitutional bodies. Yeah, can anybody tell me one example of constitutional bodies? Anybody? Constitutional bodies. Try. It's not like you go wrong also, no problem. I will not shout at you. Okay. Don't worry. Please try. Anybody? Constitutional bodies. That means any institution which is mentioned in the Indian Constitution. Like that, can you see an example? Okay, you might have heard about this UPSC. This itself a constitutional body. Okay, understood. Election Commission, constitutional body. Finance Commission. Please note down. This is one question. Okay, UPSC, Election Commission, Finance Commission. Very good. Gigi Jose. Fantastic. Okay, he has answered. Okay, Election Commission, Finance Commission, UPSC. Okay, all these are constitutional body. Okay, so this is the starting of the course. Okay, if you want to continue here in this, if you like our class, you can continue from tomorrow onwards. Okay, about the details about your course and fees, you can always send me a message. Okay, that is the thing. Or you want to know about more details, you can tell me. So live classes, when this COVID and coronavirus are getting over and the government is allowing for classroom coaching, we can always conduct a classroom coaching. So there you got a two options. One is you can come for a classroom coaching, you can come to our institute, or you can continue in the live and the online itself. You have your choices there. Okay, guys. So let me start with what subject you want me to teach. I'll teach you one thing called defection. It is coming somewhere here in Parliament. It will come. Write down heading called defection. Okay, defection. Yeah, this is based on the Rajasthan. What is happening in Rajasthan? Many of you know. We have made a video also on that. Okay. So you can also check our YouTube channel. It is in the name Genius channel. Okay. A lot of videos we are using so that you can learn. Defection means what? Okay. For example, one MLA or one MP. What is MLA and MP? MLAs are in the state level legislature. Like we have Kerala State Assembly, Tamil Nadu State Assembly. Okay. So this state assemblies, there are certain members are elected by the people directly. Right on. MLAs are directly elected by the people. Directly elected to the people. Okay. And MP is also directly elected by the people, but MP go to the member of what? What does this P stands for here?
Parliament.
Member of Parliament. Okay. And that also only Lok Sabha. Only for Lok Sabha, people are electing. Rajya Sabha, people are not electing. Understand, right? Right on. Rajya Sabha, people are indirectly elected. Members are indirectly elected. But for Lok Sabha, we are voting. We are voting for the Lok Sabha seats. Okay. Now, when these people become a member after winning the election, okay, they cannot jump another party. They cannot jump into another party. Okay, right down. For example, we'll take an example of Shashi Tharoor. Okay. Shashi Tharoor belongs to which political party?
Congress.
Congress. Very good. Congress. He belongs to Congress. Now, after getting elected, if he joins BJP. Okay. If he joins BJP, what will happen? It amounts to defection. It amounts to defection. That means jumping of party not allowed. Okay. Shashi Tharoor, he belongs to Congress and he has become an MP from Thiruvananthapuram. But if he is joining the BJP, okay, or he is resigning from the Congress, I'm giving two things. One is he is joining the BJP or he is resigning from Congress. Okay. Congress. Then it amounts to defection. Okay, which will attract disqualification. If we are doing either he is joining BJP or he is resigning from the Congress, he will be disqualified. Right down. He will be disqualified. He'll be disqualified. So he is no more a MP. He is no more a MP. Okay. So similarly, what is happening in Rajasthan is the MLAs are mainly they are from Congress. Okay. Now there is a chances. Okay, led by who is the rebel leader in Rajasthan? Who was a deputy chief minister also? Anybody? Not reading newspaper. Sachin Pilot. Very good. Sachin Pilot. So there is an allegation that he is joining the BJP, which he is saying no. Okay. So these people are maybe different. They'll be disqualified. The speaker has sent them a letter whether I should disqualify you or you coming for the meeting and all. Okay. So defection basically means you are jumping a political party, you will be disqualified. Okay. Now look at the constitutional fact about this. The defection is mentioned in the 10th schedule of the Constitution. Right now, defection is mentioned in the 10th schedule of the Constitution. There are total 12 schedules are there in the Constitution. There are total 12 schedules are there in the Constitution. 12 schedules are there in the Constitution. Okay, among this 10th schedule, by 52nd amendment, they'll ask you what is 52nd Amendment Act. Okay, amendment means editing the Constitution. Amendment means editing the Constitution. Okay, amendment means editing the Constitution. So 52nd Amendment Act, okay, 10th schedule was created. Okay, in this defection is mentioned. defection is mentioned. Understood? That means jumping of political party. Now let us see how it works for different section of people. There are three types of people in the parliament or the assembly. One is the elected people. The other one is the nominated people. The third one is you got independent member. What is independent member means? They do not belong to any political party. They want because of the individual caliber and capacity. They are not belong to any political party. Okay. Now let us see. Okay. So these elected members cannot join any political party. Okay. Cannot. So defection is applicable to them. Nominated means what? Nominated. Okay. We had in Lok Sabha, there are 2 members of Anglo-Indian community. We had that Anglo-Indian community, 2 members can be nominated in the Lok Sabha. That was there. Now that has been removed. If you are not updated, please update this. The Anglo-Indian nomination in the Lok Sabha is removed by 104 Amendment Act. 104 Amendment Act. 104 Amendment Act. This is not required. No more nomination of Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha. Okay. But however, in Rajya Sabha, 12 members are nominated. In Rajya Sabha, 12 members are nominated. Okay. They belong to art, literature. Write down that. Okay. Write down very clearly write down. Okay. In Lok Sabha, the nomination of Anglo-Indian communities has been removed. By which Amendment Act? 104 Amendment Act. They'll ask you, what is 104 Amendment? The removal of Anglo-Indian nomination in the Lok Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, 12 members are required to be nominated by whom? President. President will nominate. They belong to art, literature. They belong to art, literature. They belong to art, literature, social science. Art, literature, social science. Understood, guys? Okay. So these are the people who are nominated among them. So, in fact, our Suresh Gopi is also under this category. Okay. Then we had Ranjan Gogoi. Right on Ranjan Gogoi, which is actually controversial. Okay, I have made a video for Ranjan Gogoi because he was Chief Justice of India. Okay, then he became a member of Rajya Sabha, which is not correct. But getting the point, he was Chief Justice of India. From there, we're downgrading to become a member of Rajya Sabha, which is not good. Okay, but he is there. Okay, so Ranjan Gogoi, Suresh Gopi, all these people come under the category of nominated members. Now, for nominated members, what is defection law says? Within 6 months, write down, within 6 months. Within 6 months, you can join any political party. But after that, no. Within 6 months, you can join any political party, but after that, no. Okay. So when they are nominated, they do not belong to any political party. You see, within 6 months, you can join any political party, but after that, if you join, then defection will be applicable. Understand? See, these are the critical areas you have to understand. For the elected member, Shashi Tharoor is an elected member. If he is joining in BJP, he will be disqualified. Nominated member Ranjan Gogoi or Suresh Gopi, these people have to join any political party within 6 months from the nomination. After that, they are joining, they will be disqualified. Then comes independent member. Independent member, okay. I think our Innocent is an independent member. Okay, from Chalakudi. Can anybody confirm that? Okay, Innocent, this one, independent member, they do not belong to any political party. Thereby, they cannot join any political party. Right down?
Sir, I think he is LDF.
But I think that is from outside support only. That means they officially is not a candidate of LDF.
Okay.
Officially is not a candidate of LDF. I'll check that. But write down, independent members cannot join any political party because they got vote because they do not belong to any political party. Because see, people don't want any political party. That is why they voted for independent member. Okay. Okay. So when this independent member join any political party, then they will be disqualified. Okay, so I'm giving 3 examples. Elected members cannot join any political party. Independent members also cannot join any political party. He cannot join a political party. Understood? So now, who will decide whether defection has happened or not? Write down speaker or chairman. But they will decide the defection, whether to be disqualified or not. Okay. So in this also, remember one concept called whip. Whip is a kind of chief instructor, you can say. every party will have one person called whip. So whatever he's saying, that you have to obey. It was saying that you vote for one particular bill. There's a bill called Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay. So if a Congress saying you vote against this, okay, and the whip will be saying it in the parliament. In the parliament, there's one person called whip. He's a chief instructor. What he says, you have to obey. If you're not obeying, then it amounts to defection. That amounts to defection. Understand, boys? Okay. So all this means you will be disqualified. Okay. So you are no more a MP, you are no more a MLA. Okay. But of course, you can again contest the election. Okay, from whichever party you want, that is possible. Okay. So these are about the small portion of the this one. And another question which will come is the fundamental duties they will be asking. Okay, fundamental duties were not originally present in the constitution, right? On not originally present in the constitution. It was added by 42nd Amendment Act. Fundamental duties were not present in the constitution. It was added by 42nd Amendment Act. It added 10 fundamental duty. Then 86th Amendment Act. 86th Amendment Act created 11th fundamental duty. Created 11th fundamental duty. Okay, so total 11 fundamental duties are there. You have to memorize all the 11 fundamental duties. Clear, guys? Yeah. Any doubts you got? Please ask me now. Anything you didn't understand? Anybody joined late? Anybody who joined late? We started with the ancient India, Indus Valley civilization. Okay. Then we went to the geography about the oceanography. Yeah. Let me ask Vaishnavi. Can tell me one cold current, one or two cold current? Vaishnavi Vijayan.
Yes, sir.
Cold current. Give me example of cold current.
Cold current. Sir,
Yeah, cold current.
Brazilian.
Did you take a note or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Speak loudly a little bit.
Brazilian.
Brazilian is not a cold current. No, it is a warm current. The dotted lines are cold current. Brazilian is not a cold current. It is a warm current. Falkland is a cold current. Falkland is a cold current. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, anybody else can tell me any warm current?
Sir, Kuroshi, Brazilian.
Kuroshi is a
Atlantic
warm current. Warm current. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I talked about one desert. What is a desert?
Sir, Alabama.
What does it?
Atacama Desert.
Atacama
Desert
Desert.
is found in the
Atacama, full form.
because of the Peruvian cold current. Clear? Anjali Pillai, you're there in the class? Anjali Pillai? No? Gautam Ranjan? Gautam Ranjan, you're able to hear? Any doubt, guys?
No doubt, sir.
Yeah, so you have to make sure that you are learning. When you're coming to the live class, you have to use the faculty properly.
None.
Yeah, tell me, somebody's having doubt. Okay, we talked about 3 topics today. One is the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, the second topic was ocean. And third topic was defection. Okay. Yeah, who can tell me defection for the nominated members? Is it applicable to them or not? Is defection applicable to the nominated members?
Yes.
Yes. What is the criteria? What is the criteria?
They have to join political party within 6 months.
Within 6 months. If after this they are joining, they will be disqualified. Very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah. What is 104 Amendment Act? Please, all of you take part. Srinath, Hundavada, Srinath.
Anglo-Indian
Yes,
members
sir.
cannot.
Yeah, tell me, Srinath, what is 104 Amendment Act?
Anglo-Indians.
They abolished Anglo-Indians, sir.
Anglo-Indians cannot be nominated members in the Lok Sabha. Very good.
Nominated. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Liz, can you hear me, Liz? What is 52nd Amendment Act? Liz Viney. What is 52nd Amendment Act? Okay, so this is an introduction class about the convention subject. Tomorrow onwards we'll have a class on the regular timing. Okay, so you can ask me any doubts. Okay, now, or you can send me a message also, possible. Okay, then anything else you want to know, let me know. Okay, you can always call me. Okay, in this number 999 591618. Don't wait that we'll start a classroom coaching, then you will come and join. So everybody is joining online classes. Let's start us. Then later, if you want, we can change to classroom coaching also possible. Okay, otherwise, you are liking this. It's a lot of people initially they came saying that I'll try, but after attending our live classes, they started, sir, our online class is comfortable. We are continuing that itself. Okay, so you can do that as well. Okay. Then about the current affairs, you have to read the newspaper called the Hindu newspaper. Okay, very, very important, particularly editorial. Okay, daily we are discussing this in our mobile app. Okay, you can download that. It is also known by the name Genius Channel app. Okay, okay, and WhatsApp and all you can send me. Okay, and about your course, how long your duration of the course? Okay, what is the fee structure you want to know? Please send me a message or call me also. I'll explain you. Okay, so today I made sure that you are learning Indus Valley Civilization, ocean currents, and the diffection. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. This is a new information, or you already know about it. How many of you already know about Indus Valley Civilization? Anybody is there? Sir, I was aware of this. How many of you know that they did not know the use of iron? Anjali, Arjun, Gigi.
This was a new information, sir, about
New
diffraction and Indus Valley civilizations.
Very good, very good. Okay, what about others? Yeah, I'm challenging you that 10 questions can be answered from this, not directly or indirectly. Together, 10 questions will be able to answer. So each of day we'll be improving our knowledge. So everybody is not when they come, they don't come with the knowledge. So every day we have to improve ourselves. That is what we are trying. So we'll give you recorded videos also. This session is also recorded. If you have come late, let me know. This is getting recorded, so it is available in our app. Okay, so every session will be recorded and available in the app. You can always see that. Okay, but coming to live is good. You can interact with the faculty. Okay. So recorded will be there, live will be there, online test will be there, PDF study material will be there. Okay. So you'll have a complete package what is required for this exam. Okay, guys. Yeah, last one question. Anybody got? Anybody? Any questions? Any doubt or general preparation of the exam in subject history, geography, polity? Otherwise, you have asking me in the crowd. You can always send me a message. You can call me. Class. Okay, guys. We'll wind up the class. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Bye bye.
Okay.
All the
Thank you,
best.
sir. Thank
Wish
you.
you all
Thank you,
success.
sir.
All of you.
Thank you.
Wish you all
Thank you.
success. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.